Hello, my name is Andy and I am the Village Idiot. I'm armed with a car and a GoPro and an unhealthy amount of time on my hands. I'm using that time to attempt to visit every civil parish in England. You're watching the West Lindsey series. This is one of the 9 districts of Lincolnshire and one of the county's most rural. It has 128 civil parishes. Let's see which one this episode's all about. Do you remember the Choseley episode of King's Lynn and West Norfolk, and how I was having to sort of pad it out as much as possible because there wasn't really much to talk about? Welcome back to West Lindsey, everybody, where this one is going to be virtually the same sort of deal. This is a very tiny place which literally has just a handful of houses and a church. That's basically it. Welcome to Kirmond le Mire. The West Lindsey series is sponsored by Gainsborough Cycles 01427 617 752. For all your cycling needs, this is your one-stop shop, located at 20 Ropery Road or online at gainsboroughcycles.com. There's a link in the description. Gainsborough Cycles, ask for Trevor Halstead. And this video is also sponsored by Jamie's Fitness Studio, based on Low Road, Greyingham, near Curtin in Lindsey. Jamie is one busy lady. Check her out by calling 07906 749 574 or emailing hello@jamies.co.uk. Online membership is available. There's a link to her Facebook page in the description. Jamie's Fitness Studio. Get fit, get happy, get healthy. Here's my disclaimer for people who may be watching me for the first time. I say things as I would in my native accent and dialect. As a result, I may not pronounce things in the same way as the locals do. Remember, I'm a visitor. It's impossible to know everything. Leave me a comment, spin me a like, and bash that subscribe button. Let's get to today's parish video. Welcome to Kirmond le Mire, a tiny place situated between Tealby and Binbrook on the B1203 out of Market Rasen. It lies on an easterly slope which runs downhill to a small stream which forms the parish and district boundary with East Lindsey. The name Kirmond is French. It means Goat Hill. As we already know from other places with Lee in their name, that means in the, so Kirmond is literally the Goat Hill in the mire. Kirmond has existed in some form since Roman times. Remains of a large villa complex have been found here, and Roman terraces can be seen beyond the stream. The Domesday Book mentions a church, 24 families, and a mill, which was probably water-driven. Kirmond belonged at that time to William de Percy, a Norman baron. The modern village comprises little more than a row of houses and several farms, which are owned by Sutton Estates. It does though have a church on the north side of its main road, dedicated to St. Martin. Speaking of that main road, it's something of a bone of contention at the moment for the people who live here. For several years, residents have complained about it for one main reason. In this episode, we'll learn why. Walkers like this place too. That's thanks to the numerous footpaths which give you great access to some breathtaking views across the Lincolnshire wolds. It's only a short episode, this one, but it was fascinating. Let's go. We begin our walk at the eastern end of the village on the B1203 to Binbrook, Kirmond's one and only main street. Despite being the size of a pinhead on the map, Kirmond once had a parochial school. This was it, and it was built here in 1871. It held 30 children at full capacity, so it was a tiny school for a tiny place. Over the road there's an equally tiny church, St. Martin's. This is a fairly modern building made of stone which was fully renovated in 1899. This can seat 70 people when it's full. The building was designed by W.A. Nicholson in 1848 and was financed by Squire Christopher Turner of Stoke Rochford near Grantham. At that time, he was owner of the village. It's built of local ironstone in the early English style, with a nave, a chancel and a bellcote. There are several lancet windows, and the chancel has a priest's door which is decorated with a pattern of dog-tooth St Andrew's crosses. Okay, so the church is locked, so I can't really do much more with that. What I can do though is show you what's behind it. There's a farm here, which I'm not about to go into because I think beyond this sort of point here it's private, so I'm not going to go to the right here. But to the left there's a little track, which I think I'm okay on, and you get a good view out here. You can see some of the old scenery over there. So Kirmond does have a few nice vistas, if you like. Let's go back the other way and show you where this track goes. It just basically leads back to the main road again, and I'm going to turn right at the end here, and this will take us to the... oh, there's a car coming, hang on. There we are. Two of them in fact. There we go. I'll turn right at the end here, and it will take us towards the end of the village. There's not really much more than what I've shown you, to be honest. Now for possibly the shortest section I've ever filmed. After the church, the houses all seem to stop as the road runs off into nowhere. Here's what the view is like after the houses stop. It's pretty bland and mundane, but that's the road, not its surroundings. If you know where to look, you get some more good views up here. Kirmond is popular with Wolds walkers, simply for these. With not much more to see, I headed back downhill again, asking myself as I went a question about the B1203. So apparently a common complaint here in Kirmond is this road. Apparently it's unsafe. I can't quite see why myself, quite frankly, because I've driven on this 3 times already, as you know from the drive-in. It doesn't seem too bad. There's a few potholes here and there. It's certainly not the safest road to walk on, especially not on this side of the road, because there's no footpath. The footpath is all on this side, so I suppose I'd better come to this side of the road, otherwise I may get mown down. And really, from here, it's just a case of walking straight back to where we began. So I had a bit of a stroke of luck as I was coming back down the road. One of the locals stopped me, asked me what I was doing, and he said, "Have you been in the church?" And I said, "Well, no, because it's locked." Apparently it wasn't locked, the door was just a bit stiff. I just needed to push it a bit more. So let's have a look inside the church, shall we? Let's see. This will pad this video out because it's going to be a very small one. There's a few displays on the wall here, mainly of the pictures, mainly of the church and of the bellcote here. I wonder if this is something to do with the restoration. Let's see. Funds are urgently needed to augment local effort. Okay. Yes, you can see here, look, there's some damage to the bellcote at the top, look. There you go. It's cracking. Not in the good way. Cracking, not in a good way. My camera screen's mucky. Hold on. There we go. I think I've solved that problem now. Right, let's head into the chancel and see what this is all about. Got another display here. Something to do with a window. Something to do with Leicester Cathedral here. What's Kirmond got to do with Leicester Cathedral, I wonder? Let's have a look. Ah, right, it shares the patron saint, St Martin. That's the only English cathedral. Right, okay, I get it. It's the only English cathedral that has the dedication to St Martin, from what I can gather from that. So that's what the connection is to Kirmond. Up above we've got a tablet in the memory of Charles Rowell Fieldsend, who died in 1899, and also of Lucy, his wife, died in 1910. Another Fieldsend here, 1928, that's Charles Fieldsend. Another Charles, 2 Charles. And then I can't read that one, I'm afraid, because that's a bit worn away, so I can't really do much with that. On the other side, we've got George Maris, and also his wife Anne interred here in the 1800s, 1818 for him and 1822 for her. Let's have a look on this side, so if there's anything on this side. Just the pulpit, a couple of windows. The walls are a little bit bare in here. There's a piece here that's clearly missing. There's a little organ with a little light on top of it. So there we go. So that's the church then. Very simple church, isn't it? There's not really much to it, but you know, it's something a bit extra. I wasn't expecting to get in this when I came down first time, tried the door, wouldn't move. I'm just clearly not strong enough. Now I wonder whether this has anything to do with the road, because the local who stopped me also told me why the road is so unsafe. It's because lorries use it quite a lot to get to Brookenby, and when lorries come past, it just vibrates everything. All the houses shake, apparently. So I wonder whether that there is a result of lorries coming flying past on this road, and it's caused damage to the church. It would certainly make a bit of sense when you consider that fact. And he was also telling me that one of the houses across the way, I think it was the one that's directly opposite the church actually, is another one that suffered some damage. They put a chandelier up last year in the house, and it ended up on the floor because when a lorry came past, it basically just shook it so badly that it fell off and came crashing down to the floor. Utter shame if you ask me, because chandeliers are expensive things. But yeah, there you go. That is basically the problem with the road, and that's the inside of the church. Thank you to that, I didn't get his name, thank you to the guy who stopped me. He lives over there in one of those houses, so thank you very much, sir, whoever you are. That was very helpful for this Kirmond episode. Okay, I'm now going to drive out of the village, and there's really only one thing more to show you on that drive out, and that's Manor Farm, and that'll be basically it. Kirmond's a very small place, and the next episode will be just as small. Many of the farms in and around Kirmond are owned by Sutton Estates. The Sutton name is a reference to Sir Richard Sutton, who was one of the UK's wealthiest people. Sutton made his money as a hotelier and featured in the Sunday Times Rich List in 2017. His assets were valued at over £200 million, and then he was listed again in 2020 with an estimated family fortune of £301 million, a rise of £83 million on the previous year. He had an extensive property and farming portfolio, including the 6,500 acre Benham Estate in West Berkshire and the Stainton Estate here in Lincolnshire. Sir Richard's company owns London hotels, the Sheraton Grand Park Lane and the Athenaeum, plus 3 smaller venues. Sutton was killed in 2021 on his own Moor Hill estate in Gillingham, Dorset. He was brutally murdered by the son of Sir Richard's partner, Anne Schreiber, who was also attacked. Anne would survive, but would be left paralysed. Sir Richard was 83. Sir Richard Sutton once owned Kirmond Manor House, a Grade II listed building dating from 1868. The house was built for Sir Christopher Turner, the man who financed the building of the church. Right next door to the house is Manor Farm, perhaps one of the best examples of a 19th century farmstead anywhere in Lincolnshire. You'll note I opted to not drive all the way into this as it's private land, but I couldn't pass this without capturing it. Sutton sold the Manor House in 2008, but I believe Manor Farm is still part of Sutton Estates. There are many more farms around this part of Lincolnshire which are still owned by them, and next week we'll be seeing a couple more. Do join me for the next episode as we continue our journey through the Lincolnshire Wolds. See you later, folks. Thanks for watching this video, folks. Don't forget to like this episode if you haven't already. It really makes a difference with YouTube. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and give us a share too if you've got friends who'd like it. You can find all the links to my social media accounts below, as well as my Buy Me a Coffee page where you can donate to the channel. Also, if you've enjoyed this episode, have a look at some more videos in this series. Until next time, I've been Andy, also known as the Village Idiot, and I'm out.